So you're trying to get more money into your Roth IRA, but you just earned too much. And now you're trying to do a backdoor Roth, but you've come across this Pro Rata Rule and you're trying to figure out what is the Pro Rata Rule, what's this formula, and how do I figure this out, and how much taxes am I gonna pay? So in this video, we're gonna talk about what the Pro Rata Rule is, what the formula is. I'm gonna go over an example. And last but certainly not least, I'm gonna show you how to avoid all of this, avoid the Pro Rata Rule, avoid the extra taxes. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or if this is your first time at our channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Travis Sickle, and let's go ahead and get started. So let's start at the very beginning. You've realized that you can't make a direct contribution into the Roth IRA, but you still want to figure out how to get money into the Roth IRA. So those income limits is something that you need to be aware of. So let me go ahead and pull those up on the screen here. And if you scroll down, this is my blog. I've put them right here. And for the Roth IRA income limits, for somebody that's filing single in 2022, if you earn over $144,000, you can't make a direct contribution into the Roth IRA. In between these two limits is the phase out. So that means a reduced amount. And for married filing jointly, that's $204,000 to $214,000. So if you earn $214,000 or more, you can't make a direct contribution if you're married filing jointly. And you can see those contribution limits are exactly the same at $6,000 for 2021 and 2022. So those are the income limits for the direct contribution into the Roth IRA. But now you know that you're over those thresholds. You're trying to do this backdoor Roth and this whole Pro Rata Rule thing. So I've kind of drawn it out here for you so we can go through this together. And right here, you can see that we have an IRA and our Roth over here. Now, the Pro Rata Rule basically says that your after-tax contribution, also called a non-deductible contribution into your traditional IRA, that probably already has existing pre-tax money in it. So let's say that we have $100,000 inside as pre-tax contributions, including growth inside of your IRA. Well, when you make that after-tax contribution, let's say that we did the full $6,000, we can't cherry pick and take this $6,000 and just put it over to the Roth IRA. Well, that would be nice. It's not the way things work. This is the Pro Rata Rule, where we have to take an equal amount from the pre-tax portion and the after-tax portion. So in actuality, in order to get this full $6,000 over to the Roth, we have to convert this full amount over to the Roth in order to bring this $6,000. Now, the problem with that is that this $100,000 is pre-tax money. That means in the year that you're doing this conversion, that full $100,000 will then get added to your taxable income. Now, you can convert as little or as much as you want, but each dollar is still going to be a prorated amount, an equal portion from your non-deductible, from your after-tax contribution, and that pre-tax amount. Now, this includes all of your IRAs, whether they're SEPs or Simples, or even if you have 10 different traditional IRAs, it doesn't matter. The formula is going to include all of those IRAs as one single IRA. So there's no way to split up your IRAs in order to avoid this Pro Rata Rule. So now let's go over the formula, and then we'll go through an actual example on how this all works. So the Pro Rata Rule formula is your after-tax contribution divided by your total IRA balance. Now remember, I said your total IRA balance is all of your IRAs, including SEPs and Simples. And this is going to equal the percent of conversion that is not taxable. So if we go back to the other example that we just drew out, and I'll bring it up on the screen here, and we have our $100,000 and our $6,000 after tax, our total IRA right now has $106,000. So for the Pro Rata Rule, we want to take the after-tax contribution and divide that by the total balance. So in this case, it's going to be our after-tax contribution of $6,000, and we're going to divide that by $106,000. And that is going to equal we take out our calculator, I'm just going to show you how to do the math. $6,000 divided by $106,000 is 0.06. 0.06. And then if we take that, let's say that we only want to convert $1,000 of this total amount, that means we're going to take 0.06 and multiply it by 1,000. So we'll do $1,000 times 0.06, and that's going to be $60. Now, $60 of the 1,000 is not taxable. That means the other $940 is taxable as ordinary income in our conversion. Now, there's a couple of points that you need to be aware of. No matter when you did the conversion, the pro rata portion is as of December 31st in the year of conversion. So if you think about that for just a second, that means you're gonna do this formula after you do your conversion. So while you might have an idea of how much is going to be taxable or not taxable, you're not going to know exactly until December 31st of the year that you're doing the conversion. And another question that you might have is the growth portion to the non-deductible contribution. So if you make that non-deductible contribution, say in January or February, and then you do the conversion in, say, June, and there was some growth in there, that growth portion just gets added to the pre-tax side. That's how you should be looking at it, because it's going to be taxable. So the only amount that you're including as a non-deductible contribution is only that contribution, not the growth, not the attributable growth or any growth inside of that IRA. That will just get added to the pre-tax side in your formula. So it's rather simple when you're figuring out how much you're putting in as a non-deductible contribution and doing that ratio and then doing the conversion to figure that out. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, there is a way around the pro rata rule and avoid these extra taxes. And I actually did a completely separate video in walking you through on how to avoid those extra taxes when it comes to the pro rata rule. It has to do with your retirement plan and rolling your current IRA, all your IRAs into your current workplace plan, but you can also look at my personal favorite, the solo 401k, but I will leave a link in the description at the bottom to that video so you can walk yourself through it. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. And if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.